Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane, standing again in my bomb shelter, which happens to be my bedroom here in Jerusalem. It's another not very professional up and close video update, but I don't have equipment, I don't have a microphone, I have my little broken phone, so I'm up close and personal to make sure that you can hear what I'm saying, and at the same time I feel like you are here with me. But I want to make this update to give you the latest news out of Israel. And now you can hear I have sirens outside my building. More than 1,400 civilians were murdered by Hamas terrorists. 199 families were notified by the Israeli military that your loved one is held captive inside the Gaza Strip, and that number most likely will climb as there are still many people not accounted for. Nearly 200 soldiers were murdered and nearly 60 police officers. The devastation here in Israel is something you can't even fathom or grasp. But this is a nation that is traumatized, that is, I don't even know how to find the words for it. Yesterday, the Israeli president was interviewed on CNN, and he had a booklet that was taken from one of the dead terrorists here in Israel. 2,500 armed to the teeth terrorists breached the fence into Israel. They live streamed it for the whole world to see, the atrocities that they carried out. If you follow my Telegram channel, you saw some of the videos I posted yesterday, filmed by these evil terrorists as they breached and stormed into Israel. When the president of Israel, Herzog, was being interviewed by CNN, he showed them a pamphlet. And it was a manual, it was an instruction, exactly what to do, how to breach into Israel, how to penetrate into a kibbutz, how to kidnap people, how to rape people, how to murder people. There was also like a schedule or a view over the personnel in the IDF, who's an officer, who's a colonel, so they knew if they captured soldiers, what rank they were at. A manual in the massacre of the Jewish people. Yesterday, the Israeli military showed some of the weapons that they collected. There were weapons for them to breach much deeper into Israel. They had planned to take over part of Israel and to keep a stronghold of it. Hundreds and hundreds of weapons manufactured inside the Gaza Strip, built by Hamas from the aid that was coming in from your countries around the world to build schools and hospitals in the Gaza Strip. But they took that and they built weapons into Israel. CNN also showed some of the training sites, the military training sites that Hamas has inside the Gaza Strip. I have been showing that over the years also, where you see Hamas, they literally have the layout of a kibbutz. So they know exactly this is what it looks like, this is what they have, this is where their buildings are. And then for years and years and years, they have been training to infiltrate into Israel. They knew exactly what they were doing. And these military training sites was not far away from the border into Israel. This was not a war between two militaries or two armies, but this was an army from hell. Nazi, ISIS, Hamas terrorists, armed to the teeth in military uniforms, who went into Israel, and they killed and they massacred every single person and dog. We have seen videos of how they are also killing animals that they met. And of course then they knew it was important that we need to kidnap people and drag them into the Gaza Strip so we can have them as human shields. The big city of Sderot was evacuated yesterday. People was moved before Israel is going to start the land operation. While all of this is going on in the south and rockets are still flying into Israel, there was actually a rocket less than an hour ago towards Tel Aviv. It landed in the sea. Things are very, very tense up in the north. 28 communities close to the border to Lebanon has been evacuated also. Israel was being shot at from Hezbollah yesterday. Israel retaliated to Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. So things are very, very tense. All of Israel is on high alert in the south to the Gaza Strip, but also up in north. Hezbollah, they have nearly 150,000 rockets and missiles pointed at Israel. At the same time, there are Iranian soldiers, proxies in Syria, who, when they are being told by Iran to attack, they are ready. So things are very, 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 very tense here in Israel, while this nation is completely traumatized. Funeral upon funeral upon funeral upon funeral. Some of these bodies were decapitated. Many of them were burned alive. The process of identifying bodies has been horrendous, beyond any horror that you can even imagine. The work that they have been doing, the work the rescue workers had to do, videos are still coming out when they are entering the homes in those different kibbutzes. Blood everywhere, bullet holes everywhere, baby cribs, babies murdered with blood all over their cribs, in the baby rocking chair. And Hamas also released a video while they were still in Israel where they are holding some of these babies that they later on took into the Gaza Strip. So this was an attack from an army from hell who came in here to murder and massacre, to rape and mutilate and decapitate as many innocent civilians. And my window is open, so I'm sorry, the wind is blowing in my hair. To murder as many civilians as possible. What is Israel doing? They are pinpointing, using much intelligence. They even have lawyers in the army to make sure that what Israel is doing is against, according to the law, because they know that Israel is always going to be accused of war crimes. Israel and the Israeli military is doing the uttermost they can to only hit to avoid civilian targets and hit Hamas targets. The thing is, Hamas has built beneath the Gaza Strip a tunnel network for hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's where they're hiding with their families now, cowards as there is, and that's most likely where all of the families are held captive right now. So the Israeli military is still mobilizing. They have more than 300,000 troops at the Gazan border, getting ready, mobilizing for the ground operation that will happen inside the Gaza Strip. If your nation had been attacked, and I'm telling you the death toll is still ticking, we could end up on 2,000 maybe before we know how many people was actually massacred by these evil terrorists. If this was your country, you would do actually the exact same thing as Israel is doing. So while they came in here with no warning and massacred 1,400 people, right now that's the number, Israel is going after targets. And what else is Israel doing? You need to understand something about the Gaza Strip. Israel pulled out in 2005. Hamas took over, and ever since they have ruled the Gaza Strip in a terror regime. There are many people in Gaza who don't agree with Hamas, and Hamas is murdering some of these people. But we also see a large part of the population inside the Gaza Strip who supports Hamas and who was supporting the murder of the Jewish people. As a matter of fact, only yesterday was there a video showing that a lot of people hiding in the hospitals, the civilians in the hospital in Gaza, when rockets were fired into Israel to murder as many civilians as possible, they were cheering, they were applauding. So they applaud the massacre of the Jewish people, But all of a sudden, when Israel going in, they are screaming, we are victims, war crimes. It's deplorable. So Israel, what else is Israel doing? They are saying to the civilian population in Gaza, we are going to attack in the northern part of Gaza because that's where Hamas is hiding. Go south, go south, go south. Israel has given them days to evacuate. Go south, go south. What is Hamas doing? They are blocking the roads. They are preventing people from leaving because they need to have their human shields. There was actually a report coming out that they just killed 70 people in a convoy who was on the way to go to the southern border. So Israel is doing everything they can to prevent civilian casualties. So for such a time as this, please share out this video. We stand with Israel. When I see the horrendous pro-Palestinian death to the Jews demonstrations that's taking place in New York, in America, in London, in many big cities in Europe, they were out literally the same day and the day after this massacre took place. Not against the Israeli government. No, they were out in support for Hamas. They were out supporting the massacre and the murder and the decapitation of the Jewish people. So it's absolutely horrendous. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Palestine is never talking about a two-state solution. It's talking about what we saw this Saturday, a complete massacre of the Jewish people, wipe them out and turn Israel into a Palestinian state. So speak up for Israel, stand with Israel for such a time as this. We know this is God's holy land. We know the promises to Israel stands. We know this is the land, the only Jewish state in the whole world. And right now they are fighting for survival. Within 24 hours, 48 hours, Israel can be in a multi-front war in the Gaza Strip, on the Lebanon, with Lebanon, maybe even if Syria, if they start to intervene. Of course, the American administration has been out warning Hezbollah and said, don't get involved. But if Hezbollah want to get involved, they will get involved. Anthony Blinken just arrived back into Israel after he was here a few days ago. He has been traveling around to the neighboring country and speaking to them, and now he's back meeting with the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister. So we know God gave this land to the Jewish people. Don't fall for the pro-Palestinian lies and propaganda at all. We know God gave the land. This is the nation of the Jewish people. From the east to the south, from the north to the west, there is no occupation. The Jewish people are home. Prophecies are being fulfilled. This is the Holy Land, with Jerusalem as the eternal, undivided capital of the Jewish nation. So thank you for watching. Thank you for following me on all my social media platform. Again, I really want to encourage you to follow my Telegram channel. I'm sharing so many things on Telegram. You don't see it on my other mainstream media because then I will be censored. Then I will be blocked. I also apologize for all the vile and evil comments, especially on my Facebook, from Arabs who is pro-Hamas, murdering the Jewish people. I apologize for that. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm getting so many messages, emails, and then all the hate that's coming towards me. So I'm very busy dealing with this. God bless Israel for such a time as this. Bye.